last week's show. So, honey, what do you remember about last week? I know that last week we started. We are still on how to break the backs of poverty and disease. You know, generational poverty and disease, and we started talking about how education would help if you are educated. How would that help in terms of breaking the poverty and disease? And we talked about the importance of education in general. And we said some things. Some of the things we said, I'm going to start off is that education brings knowledge and enlightenment. That's one thing that I said. I don't know if you remember anything you want to add to.
Like education also bring networking. You are able to get in contact with people with the same like mind, and you get to learn diverse information out there. You are not narrow minded. You get enlightened, and we also mentioned that enlightenment bring about stability. Because you are enlightened, you are stable whenever you take a decision, because you understand what you are in for.
Mm-hmm.
You stable, you become very stable in life because of the enlightenment that you have.
All right. And then we also said a few other things. Um, we said that if you're educated, you are able to network, right? Because the fact that you can network makes you right from if you started high school, right from the time you started high school, you would be able to kind of see people. You have access to people who would in turn be people you can call on, when you need help. So that was another importance that we said about education. We're gonna. You have anything else?
Yeah, and in line with that too, if you are enlightened in your like disease state, you are able to understand and really do the right things to get solution to your problems in terms of diseases. You do understand how it started and how to be able to manipulate or go through the situation, because of your understanding of that state, that you are not overwhelmed when the doctors start talking to you about a disease state. Because of your educational background, you are able to understand and try and seek for solution. So education is very important that we mentioned.
All right, all right, all right. So we're going to continue in the same line, but I think today we are going to introduce a new thing in our show, which we call the weekly health tips, because we just don't want to say news and we are not journalists and then we don't have news, but at least we are in the healthcare industry, so we want to make sure that each time we have a show, we do go for weekly health tips. So every week when we come live, we will bring you one or two tips about how you could do well in terms of your health. And so today will be the first. We want to do a weekly health tip. And I don't know if you want to start. We had a video last week on our channel on Dayspring Life and Health about how uh, uh, olive oil can definitely improve upon your health, right? And so we want to just touch a little bit on that subject, and then hopefully viewers will have some benefit on that, and then we'll zoom straight onto our topic for today. So the benefits of olive oil, just a few, but we want to encourage you to go watch the entire video after the show. Just go to Dayspring Life and Health, or you can just type at DROTENG at Dr. Oteng, and in when you are in YouTube, and it's going to bring you all our videos, and you just look for the one about the importance of olive oil. So some of the importance, you want to start, or
No, go ahead.
some of the importance of olive oil. The olive oil contains a lot of polyphenols, and then the polyphenols also serve as radicals. I mean, free radical scavengers. And so the more olive oil you use, the better you have. And so olive oil having a lot of ingredients that definitely help with your health. We call it free radical scavengers. And so that is one benefit that we know about olive oil. And you want to.
Yeah. So, and I think I heard it somewhere that your body kind of produces radicals through the foods that we are eating, the environmental exposure. Your body tends to produce radicals, and we know that these radicals, they are free radicals. They are moving in your body, and they are not healthy because they can hit a cell, and that can lead to cancer. Right.
Mhm.
So eating the phenols, the olive oil, like you said, that they are kind of what scavengers.
Mhm.
They catch this free radicals. They arrest them like the good cops, like you mentioned in the video. They catch these free radicals in your body, and in doing so, you are reducing the number of free radicals in your system by eating extra olive
Extra
oil,
virgin.
extra virgin olive oil. So there are a lot of olive oil out there, but we are specifying, we are stressing on extra virgin. And I know that you don't have to put it on fire or overheat it or so much. You just use it like the picture that you're showing. You use a little teaspoon, 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoons,
Mhm.
and sprinkle it on your salad or any foods that you think that it will go well with, and you eat it. And in so doing, you are introducing these good phenols that are going to fight against the free radicals in our bodies.
All right. And the other components of olive oil is they have vitamin K and vitamin E. I don't know
Hmm.
if you mentioned the vitamin E.
Yes.
So the vitamin K, it's something that is important in the clotting process. So if you can clot well, you have to have good amount of vitamin K. And as a matter of fact, if you take a medication called Coumadin or warfarin and you are bleeding too much, sometimes the medication will give you is vitamin K
Mm.
so that you can clot. But when you get it naturally from olive oil, it not only helps you clot well, but studies have shown that it helps to modulate your overall clotting processes. So it's not going to make you clot too much, or it's not going to make you underclot. It's going to modulate the clotting processes, so you clot better. When you need to clot, you clot. When you don't have to clot, you don't clot.
Mm.
And so that is another benefit of olive oil. And then, having talked about that, I also want to ask, maybe somebody will be asking, how much olive oil do we need in order to get those benefits that we are talking about? Um, the olive oil, according to studies, you need 1 to 3 tablespoons. And I would suggest 2 tablespoons or 2 to 3 tablespoons. You can use it in a salad or to make your salad. You could use it. Those of you who like fried eggs, you could use your olive oil to fry your eggs because you don't heat it as long. You could use it to fry anything that you don't cook for too long, because I know my wife here would tell me that frying will destroy it. So I try to make sure that I at least at least
Don't cook it too long.
you don't cook it too long. That's the idea. You don't cook it too long, So um, that is how you could use your 2 or 3 tablespoons. And some people would actually just drink it, just
Mm.
pour it out onto a tablespoon and drink it every day.
Mm.
And the benefits are huge. In fact, this show is not to talk about olive oil. We just sneaking this health benefit in there. We're going to probably have a show and talk much about it. But as a health tip for this week, try using extra virgin, as a matter of fact,
Extra
extra virgin
virgin.
olive oil with all the benefits that there are, so that you can benefit from the health benefits of extra virgin olive oil.
Mm.
Do you have anything to say on
Yeah, you also mentioned the anti-inflammatory properties.
that?
If you have like joint pain, back pain, that eating extra virgin olive oil also help.
Right, because they also contain omega fatty acids,
Right.
omega 3, omega 6 fatty acids. And not only that, I know we don't want to use
It's
the entire show for this, but this week try olive oil.
extra.
Try extra virgin olive oil. Look at this dish. I don't know whether it's a cookie, brownie, or whatever, but if this is made with olive oil, trust me, I'll eat it. I'll eat it because at least I know I'm getting something out of it, right? All right. All right. So we're going to move on to today's show. And we're saying that today we are talking about is college education is college education even necessary? Is it not overrated? Is
Mm.
college education overrated? A lot of people think college education is overrated, and we want to delve deeper on that subject and talk about some of the benefits of higher education, and then some of the cons, some of the problems associated with higher education, and then hopefully thereafter you will form your own opinion as to whether or not college education it's overrated.
Mm.
I don't think it is. I'm going to start right off the bat. I don't usually hide my secret, but right? Yeah. I just tell you, I give it to you right now. But that as it may be, we want to see your own comments, your own suggestions, and your own ideas about that. So make sure you punch in your comments. We want to read your comments. If you are on watching on Facebook, there's a place right where you click to watch. There's a place to allow the software to send your comments and also bring your name so we can call your name. If you don't say your name, if you don't click on that, we will still see your comments, all right. But I won't be able to call your name out, you know. So please make sure you allow either it's Restream or Ecamm Live, whichever one you are using to watch or whichever software. Just click to allow your name to be shown. That way, when your comments come, we can call your name and say to the viewers that this person is saying this. Unless you want to hide, which I think nobody wants to hide. All right, so let's move on with the show. So the first thing I would say is higher education even necessary? As the topic says, is it not overrated? And I'll start off with Gifty. What do you think about that?
So I think we want to take it this way. We are going to go over the pros
Mm-hmm.
and the cons.
Mm.
Then after that, we weigh the two and see whether it's overrated or not. That's how we are going. That's the route we are going, right?
Okay, whichever
Okay.
one you want. You are the boss now.
Okay. So the first pro that I would talk about is higher employment rate.
Okay.
Higher employment rate. If like I think we alluded to it last week a little bit, that if there is a position posted and the requirements includes college education, you are going to exempt yourself because you don't have the college education. If you are a high school graduate, you limit yourself from that employment. And if it's just it's up to maybe postgraduate degree, you have wider field to pick from. And if you have the doctorate, it's even wider. So having college education or having higher education increase your prospect of getting employed.
Hmm.
Your chance of being employed is way higher, is top there over somebody who did not go to college at all, because your selection will be limited. The jobs out there, you are going to be qualified to limited part of whatever is out there. But if you are educated, it's likely that you have a wider field and your chance of getting employed is very high. So that's one pro for having a college education.
All right. All right.
Mhm,
All right. So you are talking more about the employment aspect,
mhm.
but okay, let's move on. What are the other things?
Bigger salaries. That would be the second pro.
Bigger salaries.
Bigger salaries. So if you compare, I think you have a data to show, right? A
Mhm.
doctorate degree income as compared to a high school diploma income, you can compare the two. There is a huge differences between how much somebody who has a doctorate degree or a professional degree will get as compared to somebody with a high school diploma. So having a higher education give you the chance of making a bigger paycheck.
All right. So let's go through the data, and this data is from the United States Bureau of Labor Statistics. U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. And United States, you may not be watching us from the U.S., but the thing you should know that this is a huge enough place that is going to be representative of most of the places out there in the world. We have over 350 million people. So this statistics would definitely be representative, at least. It may not deviate so much from any smaller country or any other larger country. So we're going to use this one because this is where we are. All right. So If you look on the bottom, I'm going to use my mouse, and I think you can see this is less than a high school diploma. So people, well, let me just describe the entire axis here. So this here is the weekly paycheck or weekly salary, if I should say, weekly wages. Yes, it's the correct way. The weekly wage amounts that people get here. Start from zero and it ends here at 2000 on the axis. And then on this other axis, on the y axis or on the vertical axis, we have different kinds of education, starting from less than high school diploma, that is somebody who did not graduate from high school, or going to a high school diploma and some college, no degree. They went to college, all right, but they didn't graduate. And then associate's degree, in the US, associate's degree is a 2 years college. I mean, two year college education. And by the way, when we're talking about college, in some places, college means secondary school. But in the US, which we are using here, college means tertiary institution like university. So if somebody goes to college, they are in a university or they are in a tertiary institution. And so that is what it means. So some college or some university and no degree. And then we have associate's degree or 2 year university degree or 2 year college degree. And then also we have a bachelor's degree, and then master's degree, as well as professional degree. Professional degree will be like somebody who has gone to college and then proceeded to, specialize in some kind of profession. That's a literal mean. It's like an attorney or a lawyer. He's gone to college, all right, and then after that he proceeded to be a lawyer. So that's a professional degree, or a doctor, or a nurse, or pharmacist, or whatever profession that you can call about. That is a professional degree, and then a doctoral degree. So these are the options for education, and this is the weekly median income. So I was looking for data that would be more like average, because averages, to me, statistically predict and show more information than the median way of looking at things. But that's what we have. So we're going to work with that. So median basically means that half of the people, or the median is in the middle. If we have all the people that they studied, the middle number is what is reported here. So in other words, half of the people have less of this income reported, and the other half have more than what is reported here. So that's what we're going to. So you can basically think about it as the middle amount that people get in terms of the education here. So yes, again, this is according to United States Bureau of Labor Statistics, and it's median weekly earnings and unemployment rate by education attainment from the year 2019. It's 2019. All right, so
Before,
let's.
so before the COVID,
Yes,
right?
just before COVID. Yeah, yeah, COVID started late 2019. All right, so when we start from the bottom here, as you can tell, the bottom here is the people with less than a high school diploma. So people who did not finish high school, they may have started, or they may not have even gone at all, but no high school diploma. And if you look at how much they made in a week, in the middle, it is about $592 per week. $592 per week. Now, I understand you may be watching us from a place where this would be like, this is
A
a
lot of
whole,
money.
this would be like, what? And we are talking about it. Yes, we are talking in relation to the other groups. So less than $592, no high school diploma. And then when we move up is high school diploma, and then see how much they make, 746. So just not going to high school or not getting any high school diploma, going to high school and getting a diploma, there's a jump there. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the percentage jump, but at least you could see from 592, all the way to $746. So what Gifty is saying is based on reality. It's the truth. And then when we go up even further, we go to some college. People who graduated high school, they moved up to college. They didn't graduate, all right, but at least they had some kind of college education. And that also sees an increase. And that is what? $833 per week. Some college, no degree. And then when you are able to go to the extent of doing at least 2 years of college and getting what we call an associate's degree, that also brings you up a little higher. right? From 833 to 887. Now, I'm even baffled that some college even got them something because they have no degree. And yet they even increased over the people who had this high school. So I don't know how you're going to apply for a job and say that you went to college but you didn't graduate. But I guess the fact that you report that you went to college, you didn't graduate, gives you a higher income. It gives you an advantage over somebody who did not even step in college at all.
I think when you are checking, it asks you whether you have any college
Education.
education. So you can check it.
You can
It
check
means
it.
that you have college
You have some.
education. It doesn't ask whether you graduated or not.
Oh,
The graduation comes in when there is a specialty that you have to perform some specific role. Then they will want your certificate or your degree that you obtain. By just going, get you something.
just go and get you something. So that's the interesting part. Just
Hmm.
go and even get you an increase.
Hmm.
And then obviously when you get a 2 year college degree or 2 year associate's degree, you go from 833 to 887, about $50 increase, 2 years college. And then when you get a full college degree, bachelor's
Mm.
degree, it jumps from 800 and change to $1,248 per week. Again, this is the middle. Some people may make less, some people may even make more. All right, that is bachelor's degree. Now, when we go further to master's degree, we are seeing a median weekly income of $1,497. 1,000, almost 1,500. So 1,250 approximately. From and then to a master's degree, 1,500 approximately. So any higher education you get brings you an increase in income, no matter how high it is. A little bit of education brings you a little bit of income increase. And then again, more people may make more than this because half of the people here, this is in the middle number. And then also, when you go to professional degree, this is when we are talking about somebody who has not just gone to college, but have gone to college to have a professional degree. Like you are an MD, you are an engineer, you are a nurse, you are some kind of a degree that you have to write a professional license exam for, so that you be called that person. That also jumps from 1,500 all the way to 1,860, and that is another huge thing. So, what Gift is saying is actually based in statistics. It is a real thing that the U.S. government has seen. This is a recent data, and then the last one is $1,883 per week, from 1,860. So 20 change, just because you also have a doctorate or doctoral degree. So yes, your point is noted. And for people out there who are saying that um, high higher education or college education is overrated, I don't know if we can actually tell the answer to that now, but at least we have evidence here of increases with income. Now, somebody may have an argument with the cost of going to school and all that. I think Gifty is going to tell us more. So, yes, apart from this increase, let's go back. Gifty, what else are the advantages of higher
The
education?
pros. Okay. So work benefits, like your chance of getting employment is very high.
Mhm.
Immediately after school, you have a job. Then when you start working, because you have a secured job,
Mhm.
it's not just having the payments or the weekly earning that you're talking about. You also, it comes with benefits. Benefits like what? Health insurance.
Mhm.
So the moment that you enter that job, you are secured health insurance. And like we are talking about health, like going to check, knowing your numbers, going to the doctor's office every year to do your annuals, and going through at every stage in your life what you are required, or the tests that you have to do. It's a lot of money if you don't have insurance. And it's likely that if you don't have insurance, you're not going to follow through with your health. So, having higher education and having a secure job, which comes with benefits, will help you have health insurance. And aside the health insurance, you also have what? Retirement plan. I know some jobs will match the contribution. Like if you contribute certain amount towards your 401k, that job will match it. That is like free money
But
that
that's
you are
that's with
earning.
every company. I mean, that cannot be discriminated though. According to our financial education we did recently,
Mm-hmm.
remember, it doesn't matter whether you went to college or not. If you are working for the company and the company decides to give 401ks, they have to give it across the board. They can't discriminate against people who went to high school and people who went to college. But
But
I
my mhm.
go ahead.
But my point here is
Mhm.
the contribution is what based on percentage. So
Percentage of
like
your income.
of your income. So if you are earning on the higher side, if you are earning close to 2,000 and you are going to contribute 5%, it means that you are able to put a lot
More.
more. Because if you're talking in terms of 500, 5% of 500 is what? $2.50. And 5% of 2,000 is 200. So it means that having a higher education, you are able to put down or save towards your retirement better than somebody who did not go to college. And if the company is going to match the contribution, though there is no discrimination, is going to match what you put down. So if you're
Hmm.
putting down
Yep.
$5, the company is going to match you what?
$5.
$5.
If it's 50, like if they're matching 100% or 5% or whatever amount they are
Mm-hmm.
matching, it's going to be definitely more. Yeah, I get your point.
Yeah. So it's like is a benefit for going to school and having that higher income, and you are able to plan towards your future better than somebody who did not go to college at all.
Wow, 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 wow.
Mhm.
That's good. That's good. All right, I see somebody just did a thumbs up. I just need you, if you're watching, do a thumbs up. Hit the like button. Hit the like button, and let's get it on. Get hit the like button. Subscribe. You know what I'm saying? If you're on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe. If you are not on YouTube and you're watching from Facebook, hit the like button. Hit the thumbs up. Bring your comments and go back to our YouTube channel after this, and then also subscribe so that you know all the other things we talk about. This is just a live show. We got a lot of other things on our channel. All right. So moving forward, now I think we have said a little bit about economic benefits.
Mhm.
Are there any more that you have about how much people make for higher education? Is there anything like that?
Yeah, so we can link that to, I think that will be networking will be social,
Social.
right?
So
Okay,
the social
so I think the
benefits.
economics is all that we talked about. I know if you want to add
All right. So
anything.
for as far as social benefits of higher education, I think we can actually link it to what we hinted on last week. If you are if you receive college education, and as a matter of fact, let me tell you this story. I didn't even think about it, but I hear that even in the UK, okay, some people, some women, uh, I should say, some parents brought their daughters to schools where the royals go, just so that perchance one of the royal kids may see them
Mm,
and become friends and eventually get them marrying them. Networking, that's basically what I'm saying. Yeah. So they make sure, and it's the truth. Kate Middleton met his husband.
her husband, right?
I'm sorry, her husband. In this process, I think school friends. So just because they went to school,
Mm,
they 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 enlarged the amount of people or the number of people that they came in contact with. If you go to higher education, if you go to college, when you go to do your masters, when you do something higher up there, chances are that you're going to also network or see people or become friends with people at least for your class who are doing something also in a higher education area.
mm,
And so by doing that, you are already selling yourself so that in the future, if you need help, you can just fall on any of them. You can call them, and imagine if you did one of those degrees, like the advanced degrees, like a master's degree or a professional degree, you become somebody who knows a lot of lawyers. If, for example, if you became an attorney,
mm,
you become a networking. You have networking with other what lawyers. So you broaden your scope socially.
mm,
But if you don't go to higher education, if you don't go to college, the people that you'll be linked with are the people in the place you ended up. Say you finished high school, that may be the only place that you have people that you can network with. And if you are lucky enough to have friends from high school who continued, but who do not look down upon you just because they have, continued, then you can continue to network with them. But some people, the moment they move to is a higher social ladder, they begin to cut ties with the people who they were with when they were in a lower social ladder, social category. In other words, networking happens among the highly educated also. So it could be, university education. It could be even high school education. If that's all you got, you still have the advantage because what, you have people that you can network with. And network and social interactions is everything.
Mhm.
It's everything.
And one thing too is like you said, if you go higher,
Mhm.
the people under you tend not to associate yourself with the people low. Sometimes the people lower too are not comfortable coming into your inner circle
Right.
because they feel like they've been left behind.
Hmm.
So they are not comfortable or they feel intimidated, if that's the right
That's the
word.
key word. Good, 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 good. I
Yeah.
like that.
So it's not like you are cutting them off,
Hmm.
but they're not
They are
comfortable
not.
around you because they feel like they have fallen behind
Mhm.
and you have continued higher. You've gone up there.
Right. So networking definitely, it's one major benefit of higher education, college education. We visit our daughter, in college, and you see the number of people on campus. And if you are lucky to be the person that can socially interact,
Mm,
if you are the kind of people who will be able to, where I went to college here in the US, when it comes to basketball times,
mhm,
you could see people really partying. You know what I'm saying? I'm not
okay.
going to say where, so you can Google. But it was a basketball school, and you could see people partying, and it's all part of the education.
Mm,
You network the people
mm,
you go to the games with, the people that you go out with. You become friends, and
mm,
I still have connections with some of these people. So if perchance I need help, all it takes is grab a phone and then call. Even if I don't have a number, I can Google and find
mhm,
them. And as soon as they hear me, all I got to say is, "Remember me? We used to be this together." Just some kind of friendship right there. And then if I need something, I use that as an opportunity to ask, "Can you help me land this job?" So definitely higher education brings with it that social advantage of networking that can never be gotten if you stayed home
mhm.
alone and try to get your money all by yourself.
And also going there with the social aspect, we have some schools that form the fraternity and the
Fraternities,
sorority.
yeah.
And even if you're not in the same class, the fact that you have been into that school
Mm-hmm.
give you an advantage
Mm-hmm.
because it's likely that if you go to those big schools, it's likely that there is somebody in charge or CEO somewhere who went to the same school. And because the person feel like they are connected to you one way or the other for going to the same school, they tend to give you the employment right away.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, maybe three people, you all qualified for the same position. But because of that connection that
Mm.
you have with that person for going to the same school, it gives you an advantage
Gives you an
to
advantage.
get that job. So networking helps a lot. Yeah.
Networking, social advantage of higher education, college education. So yeah, that is another reason why we may say college education may not be overrated, but we'll
Mhm.
wait that answer. I'll give that answer after we talk about.
And
Um,
also, it's what improve your interpersonal skills.
mm,
Interpersonal skills. So,
I
like
like that.
you going there, you are going to meet other races, right?
Mhm.
Other different kinds of
Different
people.
people of different
And
backgrounds.
yeah, and they have different way of understanding things and doing things. So you're interacting with them kind of sharpen your skills how to interact with people in general. So if you are going to stay home and not go to school, you are going to miss out in that area. So it sharpens your interpersonal skills for going to higher.
I like that. I like that. I like that. And I'm gonna give you another great example from what you just said. Um, Even in the US here, right? If you take the people who have been college educated, people who have gone to, some kind of college, they are the most tolerant people. They are the people who can, uh, they are most likely not to discriminate.
Mm,
People who are less racist, people who are of an open mind, people who understand how the world works. Most of them are people who are college educated, because what, like you said, you have a broad view of people. You see a lot of people from different backgrounds, you know which cannot be gotten if you did not go to college, if you did not go to higher education. You may not have that chance, you know. But this exposes you so many things.
Mhm.
Even if you are in a racial country, if there's such a word, you know, not multicultural. Even if you're not in a
Homogeneous. Yeah.
homogeneous racial country where there's no other race, when you go to college, when you have a higher education, you can tell how people are different in spite of the fact that you may be of the same race. You can see how people's background are different,
Mhm.
and you begin to know and understand people better.
Mhm.
Very, very, very interesting, and that you cannot buy with money. I mean, you cannot get, they may not teach you that this is how you have to do, or this is how you don't have to do, but the mere fact of being around different people of different backgrounds would expose you to how real life is. And such people are really very understanding of other people because they have lived with them. It's
Mhm.
most of the time on college campuses, they know that people are this way. But if you are not exposed to higher education, if you go to high school, you may see some too. So that's also a benefit. But the higher you go, the more socially enlightened, I should say, you become. So that is another benefit in terms of the social level. Moreover, apart from the economics, most people meet their spouses on
Mm.
college campuses. You almost forgot to say that. That's a big social,
The
huge social one, man. Come on, man. Oh man. Yeah.
mm.
Most people most people went to college, and the best thing that happened to them was that they met their wife, or their spouse on campus,
Mm.
their husband or their wife on campus. So back in the day where I started college, if you go for 4 years and you don't get anybody that you're going to marry to
You-
at the end of the 4 years, they call you played 4.0.
0.
4.0. I think they still call it like that. I don't know. But yeah, they went for 4 good years and you didn't get a suitable spouse to marry after all those 4 years. You met a huge number of women on campus, educated young women, beautiful young women, showing you all the skills of intelligence and dressing and their availability, because almost every one of them is not married and you couldn't find one. You're going to struggle.
Oh my God.
that means that means you're going to struggle.
Mm.
You are going to struggle.
So let's think of it this way, like socially, how that is linked to economics. So if you are able to meet your spouse, over there and at a higher education level, and the person is up there, it's likely that she is or he is going to make bigger salary. And if the two of you put it
Put
together,
it together.
then you are able to break through
You break through.
easily
That's
because it
you
doubles.
overcome poverty right there. That's overcoming poverty.
Mm,
That's overcoming poverty right there. So that is huge. That is an unsung advantage of going
going
to
to
higher
college.
education.
Mhm.
And like I said, in the UK, I heard stories about people trying to bring their kids to colleges or schools where
The
the
royal
royals go.
school.
That way, perchance they may meet them and be a suitable person for marriage, or for some kind of a royal position in the future. So definitely, social benefits of higher education is huge. And as Gifty said, what better thing can it be than to meet your spouse on campus? Both of you highly educated, both of you put your money together. You are almost half of the way done.
Mm.
I didn't say you are done, because we are high educated, married.
Not done. Halfway, halfway. You can say halfway, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're almost, you're almost done, right? You are up there. You are up there. You are almost done.
Mhm.
You are almost done. So definitely important that you value higher education.
And in regard to that too, you can also say that you have diverse ideas
Mm-hmm.
because maybe you can also try new foods.
New food. Oh
You'll
my
be
goodness.
introduced to
To new
something different.
cultures, new cultures,
Like you
new
mentioned
foods.
the Mediterranean foods.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you may meet a friend who is from that area, and maybe the way of their meal or their diet is
Mm-hmm.
different, and you can learn through that.
Mm-hmm.
So diverse ideas, diverse multicultural introduction,
Mm-hmm.
you can get that through going on higher, having higher education.
Definitely,
Yeah,
definitely, definitely.
diverse. Yeah.
Diversity of ideas, you meet
Mhm.
diversity of foods, and that comes to the health part. So let's use that to launch into the benefits in terms of health, because we
Mm.
are talking about life and health here. So what do you have there for health?
Yeah. So the first one I wrote down here, that it's been known or
Mhm.
it's been documented that people that have higher education live longer.
Wow. They just live longer just because they went to college, they went to
Yes,
university.
like we talked about last week. Like if you understand, because of your enlightenment, right? If
Hmm.
you understand a disease state,
Hmm.
it's likely that you are going to do it right.
Hmm.
It's likely that you're going to take your medication
Hmm.
right. You're going to follow through. You're going to seek for help. Or you may have connection. You may be linked to a doctor who can explain it better to you
Hmm.
because of your connection and your networking. So being like educated, you have the exposure, you have understanding, maybe you have the money, you have the health insurance to follow through your situation. So definitely your chance of living longer is higher than somebody who is not educated, who is overwhelmed with information, who has no networking, who has no health insurance, and who has no money like that they can fall on in case of crisis or critical conditions hit them. So it's
Wow.
been known that you live longer for having higher education.
Wow. Wow. And that also comes with the health insurance. I don't know if you mentioned that
Hmm.
and I missed it.
Yeah.
Health insurance that you get at work, right?
Hmm.
Because you are going to be paid more, you can afford more and better health care.
Can follow
You
up
can
with
follow
your
up with your
annuals.
doctors, because it won't be like if I go and they bring the bill, how can I afford? You are highly educated. You must be making enough money to be able to take care of yourself. And even if you don't, because of your education, you know the benefits of keeping up with your health. You know the benefits of keeping up with your health, and that alone can make you seek for better health. And as you do that, then as Gifty said, you live longer. So it's no secret that people with higher education, college and university education, I should say, are able to live longer because of better health outcomes due to the economic situation. Anything else about health?
Healthier children.
Oh wow,
Hmm.
that too.
Yes.
All right, tell me about it.
So if you're educated, you know that your kids are supposed to be immunized.
Mm,
Immunization. I know some people have questions about immunization. Some people don't believe that their kids should be immunized. It's likely that they're not going to cover all the immunization that the kids needs, and in so doing, the kid may have some condition that may be detrimental. So you tend to do the right things because of your understanding, of where you're coming from. Your kids are supposed to be immunized. With that understanding, you are going to have healthier kids. And when they are sick, you're not going to sit down and blame the gods and the witches and people out there who has your grandparents. I think I mentioned that. You're not going to do that
you're going to be blaming
because
people.
you are not going to be blaming people because like they are sick, and the best thing that you can do is to take them to the hospital. So in so doing, you're going to have healthier kids than somebody who is not informed, who do not understand what's happening to them. I know there are some mysteries on some diseases on children, and some people come up with all sorts of ideas or things that they, because they don't understand, they come up with some mysterious condition over situation, over condition. So if you are enlightened, it's likely that you are going to seek for help, and you're going to take the children to the hospital and seek for help. So you tend to have healthier children.
Definitely. Thank you, Gifty. Any more on the health side? I think before you come to that too, I also want to let you know that we are not like experts here. We are just, as you can tell, we are just coming up with ideas, free
Ideas.
ideas here. So
Right.
if you have any idea that you think we should know, please don't hesitate to share with us. Don't hesitate to bring it on the comments, and we'll be able to read them. Even if we don't see them now, we'll respond to them as we move forward.
Okay. And also, I wrote down here with my research, I came across this study that was done by University of South Carolina. And it states that over 65 uh, year olds with college degree spent more years with good cognition
Mm.
and fewer years of suffering from dementia than adults who did not complete college or people that do not have higher education. So their cognition is kind of intact
Mm.
longer. That's what the study came up with, that they are able to do away. The people that end up with dementia are less than people that did not go to school at all.
Wow, wow, that's huge. That's huge. That's huge. By the way, olive oil also helps.
Oh, yeah.
2 tablespoons of olive oil. We talked about that in the beginning. So,
Mhm.
as a health benefit for weekly health tip, take 2 tablespoons of olive oil daily, or add it to your meal. Use it for your salads. That's the best way to use it. Add it to your salads. So you're eating salad, which is good, and then you use olive oil. That is even better
I think you also said something about drinking a lot of tea can also help with your
with
cognition.
your
Is that right?
cognition. Yeah,
We have
I
to come
just
up with studies to back that
yeah.
claim.
Oh, I know that for a fact. For my grandfather drank a lot of tea, and he was sharp to the day he passed.
Mm.
And
But he didn't go to college, right?
he didn't go to college. He was sharp. I'm telling you, he never forgot anything. And his what he did daily was to drink his when he wakes up, tea,
Tea.
tea, 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 tea. So that's just by the way. All right. So let's move forward. Cognition. So if you didn't go to college, it's not late. You can also protect your memory and stuff like that. Like follow our channel. You learn more. Just click on the subscribe button on YouTube, and make sure that you can link up. Any other health
I
benefit?
think that's all I
All
noted
right,
down for pros.
all right. So now let's quickly run through some of the disadvantages. We don't want to make it sound like it's all rosy when you go to college or when you have a university education. So let's go. Which one do you have?
The debt from
The
going to
debt.
college.
Oh my goodness, that one
The
is a big
college
one.
loans.
Man, that is a huge one. I think
Mhm.
that's the biggest disadvantage. Somebody may say that you guys are talking about. Let me see if I can show the numbers that we showed. Yeah, you guys are talking about somebody with a doctorate degree getting like $2,000 a week, professional degree getting similar amount. But do you know how much tuition they paid?
Mhm.
Do you know how much tuition, how much debt they have incurred before they got there? That's what somebody may say, right? So,
Mhm.
and that is true. They do pay their way to get those degrees, right? So yes, keep going.
Yeah, so I think that's the biggest of all.
Hmm.
Having because like if somebody is going to incur like 200,000 for having a doctorate degree,
Hmm.
and somebody who did not go do not have that debt, how do you compare the two? You're going to be struggling to pay for that 200,000.
Mhm.
The person who did not go to school to incur that debt would wouldn't worry about paying for that. So if you are earning 22,000 a week and you're using what $1,000 to pay for the debt, you are left with 1,000. So somebody with high school diploma who is earning $892, like you showed, right? You are about the same. End of the day, you are about the same. So what's the point of going to school and incurring all this debt? That is a lot of that's a big argument out there. Why is it worth it? Is it overrated going and incurring all these debts?
Hmm.
So
That's a big question, but I'm gonna reserve my answer for
really,
later. Yeah. So keep going. Yes. What is the other one?
I
So
think
literally, what you're saying is, so people paying like, because I know friends who went to medical school, outside after medical school they had incurred like almost $300,000, you know, for just the medical education. Some people too, it's just from bachelor's to the medicine, about $300,000. That is ahead of them.
mm,
So is it worth it, or is this college, is it overrated? Somebody may not go to college and still live a decent life. So we'll come back to answer, and we'll give a.
and another point too that people claim is not all successful people went to college.
Hmm.
So you can not go to college and still make it in life. And you may be able to make it big. So we have names out there, people that did not complete, they started some college, but they did not complete and they've made it big. So why should you bug everybody with going to college?
Hmm.
So that's another con here.
I see. So people that started college and yet they did not complete and making, but those people are. We'll come back to that.
No,
Let's
no,
keep going.
yes, expanded. I think that's mainly the point.
Those are the main points.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in that case, then what I would say is, so those people though that oh, I lost my camera there. Those people who are saying that you got college and you got debt and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
I can understand where they are coming from. I understand where they are coming from. But that being said, what are the benefits though? If somebody got a doctorate degree and they have $200,000 student loan that they are going to pay, what are the benefits though after the college degree? How much
Mm,
are they making a year?
mm,
Some people can pay off their student loan in a couple of years. You know, if especially if you live your life in the way that you actually target those loans ahead of anything else. You know, when we graduated, there's no financial education. Nobody told us how to do all those things. So in that case, you just have misplaced priorities, and you probably not focus on the student loan as much as you should. But if a doctor who has a student loan of $300,000 is making $150,000 a year or $200,000 a year, you can bet that they can pay that off sooner,
mm,
especially if they can manage their debt right from the get go. We don't usually teach us how to do that, but if they can do that, they can get off that as soon as 10 years, some people 20 years. And while they are paying down the debt, they are also living a decent life. So they are going to be done with the debt, all right. I've seen people who have finished paying their student loan. The last time I told you, for us, the light is at the end of the tunnel, right? No matter how long the tunnel, it's going to come to an end. You finish paying the student loan, and then your life will become what you want it to be. You can live the way you actually want. So, yeah, you want to add something?
yeah. So like you have to pay for the debts that you're trying to say, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to do eventually. So another con here is it delays uh your savings, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because you are in debt, there is no way that you're going to start saving, so it may also delay you from buying a house, because sometimes when they run your credits with your student loan, it comes up, and maybe you may not have like good credits because you just came out of school than somebody who is starting from the bottom and building their credits. So that can be a disadvantage. It can also delay you
I beg.
getting married
Ooh, ooh,
because you
ooh.
feel like you're not ready or you don't have
That one,
enough money
that,
saved.
that, that one is big, especially for the women, right? That one is big,
Mm.
especially for the women. Ooh, delay marriage. Oh, they don't want that.
Mhm.
The women don't want that, right? But I think it's not always like that. I know that from my personal experience, the first time I got a credit card was when I was in college, when I
Mm.
was at the university. I applied to get credit cards while I wasn't in college. And they refused me each time. Even common store credit cards, those days, Farlene's, if
Mm.
you remember that store. I
Mhm.
went there, applied, and they refused me multiple times. So I stopped. As soon as I entered college, they started writing me to give me credit cards.
Right.
And I've seen that also happen to my own daughter who's in college. They are writing, because she's not here, they let us come and I see writing her and giving her, I'm giving the two of them, giving them credit card offers. So college, as we remember from our last show, we said that gives you credibility. So yes, you may have the college debt, but they don't use that as a reason to deny you of a lot of the credit and advantages that you want. They don't, because they know that having stayed in school, as Gifty said last time, if you are responsible enough to take that much loan just to educate yourself, then you are definitely going to pay back all the loans that you take. And of course, who would just not work if they have such a huge student loan ahead of them? And the fact that you have created that kind of a social status, status for you by obtaining a professional degree, by becoming a nurse, by becoming an RN, an APRN, by becoming a pharmacist, by becoming an engineer, by becoming
an
uh,
IT
an IT professional, by becoming give me more. Come on, man, give me more, give me more, give me more.
a lawyer, a doctor,
A lawyer,
a
a
pediatrician,
pediatrician. You know, the fact the fact that the fact that you have had that commitment to do that, you may have student loans, all right, but that is not enough reason for them to deny you credit because they know that eventually you're going to make it. And the other thing is, student loans are not credit loans that are penalized by most of the banks because they know that you actually took it for education. It's not like you bought cars with student loans. They know you use it to educate yourself, and that's probably why you can also file for bankruptcy,
bankruptcy.
like you said last time, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, I beg to differ, and everybody is different. If you have a different take on that, you can send your comments and let's talk about it because everybody is different. But I think that in spite of the loans that you get to get education, you can always break through. After some years of your education, if you keep working, you will pay it off, and all the money that follows thereafter will come to you.
And also, if you are privileged to have parents that saved towards your higher education,
Hmm.
you are not going to incur any debt
No, you're
after
not.
you are done.
Hmm.
So, and I think we did the financial
Hmm.
literacy exams not long ago. And I think there are avenues out there that we can educate ourselves so that our children
Hmm.
are not going to go through this financial loans dilemma. Because as parents, if we are going to plan ahead, it's likely that we are going to save towards our kids' future so that they don't have to worry about all this and all the benefits that we talked about will be theirs.
Hmm.
And they are not going to be worried about falling into debt or being in debt for going to school. So there are avenues out there. If that's the only big disadvantage for not making you go to school, maybe it's too late for you, but you can save it. You can save money for your children
Mm.
and you can eliminate all that cons so that your children are positioned in such a way that they are able to attain all the benefits for having higher education.
Definitely, and definitely, and we will have a show in the future about how to do that, how to, save for financial retirement and leave a legacy of wealth for your children and their children. We're going to tap into that because we want to make sure that your life and your health are on point. All right. Any other disadvantage they said? Those are the main ones.
Yeah, those are the main ones.
All right. So yes. So in that case, we can conclude. What do we say? Let me see if my camera works
No, I
now.
think the other one too that not all people. Do you want to show your other working that is not college related?
My mouse is
Your
locked.
mouse is not working. So the people are saying that some people have made it in life without college education. They are college dropouts and they still made it. So how come that we are encouraging everybody to go to college? Some people are not college material. They do other things and they succeed. So I think my take on this one will be the people that did not finish school and they've made it in life, if they have position or some like job opportunities, they don't go around looking for the dropouts. They go looking for the graduates and the people that have knowledge in that or that have skill in that area. So it means that college is very important. If they are dropouts themselves, but when they are going out to look for the best of the best, they don't go looking for the dropouts. They look for the graduates. So we can conclude that college education is very important.
All right. So
Yeah.
that's your conclusion right
Mm-hmm.
there. And I also want to add mine to it. And I want to say that, yes, We are not ignorant of the fact that college is expensive. 4 year university education these days, it could probably buy you a house,
Mm-hmm.
3 bedroom house, right? You could start your mortgage right away. But the question is, what are the other benefits? What are the other benefits apart from the knowledge that you gain, your social status? Not only that, your income will considerably increase. Not only that, you are enlightened. You have a skill that nobody can take from you. Like Gifty was saying, her dad said that it's better for me to educate you better, top notch education than to buy houses and leave you houses which you just sleep in and not be able to even make money to keep it up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you receive that higher education, no matter how bad the economy tanks, you know that you'll bounce back up. But for people who don't have the higher education, when everything falls apart, they are the first to go,
Mm-hmm.
because those who are most educated will be the ones that are making less, and then you don't make anything at all. So education is an insurance for your economic well-being, your economic lifestyle, your social networking, and all those things come with your higher education. And that being said, there are other jobs that can give you a decent livelihood. We are aware of that. Maybe on another show we can talk about those too. We probably should, right?
Mm-hmm.
But notwithstanding, if you have the chance, if
Mm-hmm.
it's not too late, by saying not too late, it's like if you are in your 60s and you're about to retire. I mean, going back to college may not be the best. But if you are 50, you are 40, you are 45, you are 30, and taking a 2 year associate's degree
Mm-hmm.
can launch you from one income level to another, give
Why
you
not?
this huge thing. Why not do it? Even if you work 3 years after that, you may be able to make enough money to pay off the cost of that education and still live a better life. And so that is our take. I think that college education is not overrated.
Mm.
We know that it's expensive, but if you know what you're going for, and this is not the time to go to college and stay there for 3 years and not know what you're going for. Those days are over. Some people go to college 6 years and they still are not sure what they are going to do. That's wasting a lot of money because it is expensive.
Mm.
But if you are able to, hit in a place where you go and you know exactly what you're going for. I'm going for this degree. I have done my research. I'm going to come out. I become a radiologist. I become this. I become that. And you know the market is in demand for your skill. Go for it.
Mm.
And trust me, you are not going to regret. Your livelihood is going to change. Your economic situation, your social status is going to change. Your enlightenment, the
Mm.
way you even view life is going to change. You're not going to be so narrow minded because you're not educated. So that is my take also on
Yeah,
that.
another point too is like if you're not educated, it's likely that you are going to use your strength. You're going to work in the
With your
warehouse
hands,
with your hands,
muscle work.
your muscles, And how long can you keep doing this? But if you're educated, sometimes you can work into your 70s because you are not it's not
It's not
physical,
physical.
it's more like mental. So why don't you get into a profession that can make you go extra mile than to do this job that have to is so physical that at the end of 50, middle 60, you
I'm
can't
broken. Some
you,
people
you
are
can't
broken.
do it anymore. So if you are able, if there are opportunities, don't shut your mind and just listen to people that do not know what they're saying, that college is overrated. It's definitely not overrated. A lot of benefits if you really go. And as we mentioned, I know there are a lot out there, more points that people can add on, that is definitely not overrated.
All right, all right, all right. So we are about to wrap up, and we just want to say, um, those are the tools that we use. I know some of you are better live streamers. Let me see if my thing works. Yes, and we hit 1,000 subscribers. Before I checked, we are 1,090 or so, and we want to hit 1,100 soon. So if you haven't subscribed to our channel, again, please check out. Just type a at just at like the email at at DROTENG at Dr. Otain. When you go to YouTube, just type that in and search, and all our videos will come. Click on one of them, and then you can click the subscribe button. And then we have also established a new channel just for the live streaming, and that is at Life and Health Show. You can also do that, and then you follow all. Maybe you don't want to be watching any health videos. You don't want to watch any other videos. You just want the shows. You can also go on that one, and then you will not miss a show because we're going to post all our shows there, both live and then the recorded versions. And then we also want to tell you that the tools we use, these are affiliate links that I put up there. So if you use these links, they will support our channel. But more importantly, I want you, those of you who are good and better public speakers out there, smarter guys out there who are not doing anything, you can use this to start your own show. It's called Ecamm Live. And if you use my link there, just type in the link that you see on the screen, and it's going to give you about 14 days free trial. You need to have a Mac computer, Apple computer, to be able to use the Ecamm Live software, and it's huge. That's what I use right now. I'm coming to you via Ecamm Live. It's so easy. I'm still not the best at mastering stuff, but you see how sometimes I'm trying to find out here. But it's easy if you have any skill in technology. This will be like easy for you for Mac computers. And then also on YouTube, we use TubeBuddy, and the link is up there. That shows me the statistics as how many people are watching, and how many people are subscribing, and all those good stuff. So you can use those links to help you in your own show, and it will be a good thing. Do you see any?
Yeah, so I have a comment here.
All right, so we have a comment here from Sister Grace Rebecca. He says, "Thanks so much for the enlightenment." Oh, that's a good one. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. It's a long time. All right, all right, all right, all right. Yeah, keep the comments coming, and we will respond to all of them as we keep checking. So yeah, and so I'm hoping to see somebody starts a show and they tell, they emailing me or whatever and say that, hey, I use the software you talked about because I really like it, and hopefully it will be something that you could use also. And apart from that, I think we are done with today's show. We thank you so much for hanging out with us on this beautiful but cold Sunday afternoon up here where we are. It's really cold. I want to put my Christmas tree, but I told my wife I can't do it. It's too cold today. I'm not going to be able to do it. It's too cold. So if you are in a warm place, be happy, step out there and have fun. All right, put up some lights. I'm going to do mine soon. But I thank you. On a serious note, we thank you for sharing your afternoon with us. And we want to say, beloved,
Beloved,
we
we
wish
wish
above all
above all
things
things
that you
that you
prosper
prosper
and
and
be in
be in
health,
good health,
even
even
as
as
your
your soul
soul prospers.
prospers.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for watching.
We'll see you again next week. All right.